A big important concept, and in my opinion one of the most interesting concepts in computer science, is Boolean logic. It runs at the heart of pretty much anything that you do in a computer system. A key element of Boolean logic is the idea of logic gates, which are used in circuit boards to control the flow of data to different components of a computer system and for many other uses, such as arithmetic operations and data processing, and the list goes on from here. There are three main types that you need to know for your exam. The first type of gate is the AND gate. Typically this takes in two inputs and gives a single output. In Boolean logic, inputs and outputs are either 0, false, or 1, true. The rule of AND is that the output will only be 1 if all inputs are 1, and any combination that includes a 0 will output 0. On the right hand side you can see how we would draw an AND gate. We'll talk about that more in a later video, but for example, if we were to give this AND gate two inputs of 1, this would output 1, because 1 and 1 equals 1. However, if we were then to change this input here to a 0, the output would then be 0. This is a very simple concept to get your head around. It's just a case of remembering how each gate works individually. The second type of gate that you need to know about for your exam is the OR gate. This is seen as a more lenient gate than the AND gate, mainly because you only need to have one input being a 1 to output a 1. So just like the AND gate, this typically takes in two inputs and gives a single output. As you can see on the right hand side, once again, this is how we would draw an OR gate, but again we'll talk about that in a later video. For example, if we were to give this OR gate a 0 and a 0, just like the AND gate, it would still give a 0 as the output. However, if we were then to just change one of the inputs to a 1, we would then have the output of a 1. If we were then to change that input of 0 to an input of 1, the output would stay as 1, because the rule of 1 or 1 will always equal 1. The third and final gate that you need to know about for your exam is the NOT gate. And this is sometimes referred to as an inverter, and it differs from the AND and the OR gates in the sense that it only takes in one input, however it still only gives a single output. This is sometimes referred to as an inverter because it does just that. If the input is 1, then the output will be a 0, and if the input is 0, the output will be a 1. This is a very important gate and is often combined with other gates to create complex pieces of circuitry. Practical demonstration would literally just be a 1 goes to a 0, and a 0 turns to a 1. If you have any questions on anything covered in this video, please feel free to comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But of course, do not hesitate to ask your computer science teacher about anything you don't understand, as they will be the most reliable source of information. In the next video, we'll be talking about a concept called truth tables, which is how we show the relationships between inputs and outputs within typical configurations of logic gates.